Good afternoon. Today we're going to talk about one of your favorite subjects, that's managing effective meetings. How many of you have spent time in meetings and really been bored and said, what a waste of time this is? So let's say meetings can be really effective and productive, or they can be huge wastes of time. So let's take a look at some of the tips to make a meeting effective. The first question is, do we need a meeting, or can we communicate some other way? One of the tricks that I like to use in a meeting is I count the number of people that are in the room and I multiply by $100 and say, is this meeting of 8 people worth $800 an hour? And you can use whatever numbers you want, but that's just a proxy. Oftentimes you're going to say, no, what we're discussing is not worth that kind of money. And the other thing to remember is that there are many different types of meetings. There's a daily check-in that's 15 minutes. That's fine. That's no big deal. You might have weekly meetings that discuss tactical issues or status reviews. And there's problem-solving meetings which are often much longer, or technical review meetings that might be much longer. But let's talk about generically what should we do before a meeting. The first point is, do we need a meeting? Are there other means of communication that could be more effective? If we need a meeting, what's its purpose? What do we want to get out of it, and who should participate? If we're going to have that meeting and we've answered those questions, then we need to find the correct room that's got the right kinds of facilities to support the activity of the meeting. We want to schedule that room for appropriate time. We want to publish the agenda in advance and get it to all participants so that they can prepare for the meeting. And if there's relevant read-ahead materials, we want to get that to them in time that they've got the chance to review before the meeting. Once the meeting starts, let's go to the beginning. We want to start that meeting on time. If it is scheduled to start at 2 o'clock, you should be there at 5 to 2. And at 2 o'clock you start. Whether everybody's there or not, start on time. If you're the facilitator of the meeting, you've called the meeting and you're going to manage it, get somebody else to take notes. Don't try to take notes while you're also trying to facilitate a meeting. First thing you want to do is review the agenda, ask if there are any changes or supplemental materials for the agenda. Review the purpose of the meeting and what you want to get out of it. And then as the meeting unfolds, remember, you're a facilitator. You don't want to dominate the meeting. You want to facilitate the input and discussion of others. So stick to the agenda, and then for every item on the agenda, state the issue, ask each person for their views, seek consensus, and make decisions as necessary. After the meeting has been completed, we want to summarize the decisions and the assignments that have come out of the meeting, and then I strongly recommend the use of an action item form. Most organizations have some kind of a pre-printed tablet for their conference rooms that's an action item form, and it lists actions, who's going to do it, and when it's due. After the meeting's over, circulate the minutes immediately. Get them out to everybody that participated. The minutes are not a transcript. They're not a verbatim discussion. They're a key points outline. As necessary, we want to coordinate with others. If decisions are made in the meeting, we want to implement those decisions. We want to schedule the follow-up action items, and then we want to follow up. So that's it in a nutshell. Simple steps to make meetings effective. Now, Stephen Covey, who wrote the highly acclaimed book 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, had 7 points for meetings that you can use as a checklist. First one is be proactive. Second one is begin with the end in mind. Put first things first, setting your priorities. Think win-win. Seek to understand before being understood, meaning listen to what people say. Synergize, facilitate group dynamics, and sharpen the saw. Continually improve the process of how you run meetings. That's it. It's simple. Thanks a lot.